What started as a routine broadcast of a familiar morning show unfolded into something quietly extraordinary. A moment that reminded viewers why Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have remained so beloved for decades. Normally, the cameras capture lighthearted banter, celebrity interviews, and playful teasing, but on this day, the energy felt subtly altered. There were no scripts for what was about to happen, no segment planned to elicit emotion, only the quiet unfolding of real life, gently intruding into the polished world of television. The audience, millions strong, could sense the difference immediately. What they saw was not performance or spectacle, but two people navigating shared history, deep care, and the complexity of a long partnership in real time. It was a reminder that even those who appear constantly cheerful on screen carry private experiences that shape every smile and glance. The image of a steadfast partnership. For over 3 decades, Kelly and Mark have embodied the idea of balance and enduring love. From their early days together on a daytime drama set to co-hosting a nationally beloved morning program, their connection has always felt authentic, effortless, and grounded in humor and mutual respect. Audiences watched them grow together, building a family, managing careers, and navigating public life with a sense of grace that seemed almost unshakable. That image of a perfectly balanced couple is powerful because it conveys security, but it can also obscure the quiet work it takes to sustain a marriage over decades. What viewers witnessed on this morning was a gentle reminder that even the strongest partnerships require attention, care, and emotional honesty. Endurance, not perfection, defines true connection. Feeling the shift before seeing it. Astute viewers sensed the difference before words were exchanged. The usual rhythm, the playful banter, and shared inside jokes that normally punctuate their segments were muted, replaced with a reflective energy. There was a softness in the studio air, a subtle heaviness that seemed to hang over familiar routines. Kelly's expressions carried concern, her gestures more measured, her eyes lingering in ways they hadn't before. The change was almost imperceptible, yet it spoke volumes about what was happening beneath the surface. When long-term partners carry each other through years of life together, even the smallest signs, a pause, a thoughtful glance, a gentle shift in tone, can signal that something is being felt deeply. That quiet shift, invisible to the casual observer, was the signal that something meaningful was unfolding. Composure gives way to vulnerability. Kelly Ripa is renowned for her poise, her energy, and her ability to carry the weight of live television with effortless charm. Yet that morning, maintaining composure became impossible in the face of an unplanned emotional reality. As Mark spoke with quiet candor about feeling the slow accumulation of fatigue, Kelly responded instinctively, without filters or performance. Humor, her usual shield and conduit, wavered, giving way to tremors of genuine feeling. Tears followed, unforced and authentic, breaking through the controlled rhythm of the show. When she reached for Mark's hand, the gesture carried more weight than any prepared line could. The studio, for a few sacred moments, fell into silence, and viewers witnessed a rare thing. A public figure responding to love and vulnerability with unreserved authenticity. The accumulation of a year's wait. To fully grasp the depth of the moment, one must consider the months leading up to it. The previous year had been emotionally full and demanding, a mixture of professional commitments, long hours, travel, and the relentless expectation to perform with cheer. Even the most energetic and resilient people feel the weight of sustained effort, and Mark had quietly acknowledged that maintaining momentum takes a toll. Kelly, ever attentive, had noticed these subtle strains long before the audience could. The moment captured on camera was not the reaction to a single conversation, but the release of months of unspoken concern, the acknowledgement that even the strongest among us have limits. It was a public recognition of what private partnership often entails, watching and supporting each other through unseen struggles. Love, change, and the passage of time life with all its transitions, can reshape emotional landscapes in ways we don't always anticipate. That year brought shifts that were profound, yet quietly felt. Children stepping into independence, pets who had long been part of daily life passing away, and milestones both celebrated and quietly mourned. The loss of their dog, Chewy, after nearly 2 decades, underscored how quickly time moves and how deeply even small routines are woven into emotional memory. Their children, now pursuing their own paths, brought joy alongside a new sense of quiet in the home. Together, these changes created a space in which reflection, vulnerability, and a gentle reckoning with time could surface naturally. The broadcast was a window into that shared reality, being each other's anchor. With their children grown and households quieter, Kelly and Mark have returned to being one another's primary source of steadiness. Decades together have transformed love from excitement to deep, sustaining partnership. Care for each other now extends beyond the immediate or practical. It is existential. Concern is no longer abstract, but grounded in years of shared experience, mutual memory, and hope for the future. Kelly's quiet words, captured by the cameras, were simple and profoundly human, wishing well-being, offering comfort, and acknowledging the shared journey. Presence, connection, and support emerged as the quiet work that sustains even the longest marriages. Viewers respond to authenticity. The audience's reaction was immediate, heartfelt, and affirming. Messages poured in, not out of curiosity, but out of recognition and empathy. For millions of viewers, Kelly and Mark are more than mourning personalities. They are familiar companions, their routines and humor woven into everyday life. Seeing them respond with such authentic vulnerability created a moment of collective reflection. People recognized themselves, their relationships, and the quiet pressures of daily life mirrored on screen. Rather than diminishing the couple's image, the moment reinforced why viewers feel invested. Honesty and shared humanity resonate more than any carefully staged segment ever could. Behind the cameras, a shared pause. When the broadcast went to commercial, the studio didn't immediately return to its usual bustling rhythm. Observers described a hush settling over the space, a quiet respect for what had just occurred. Kelly and Mark remained where they were, hands clasped, sharing the moment without rush. Production continued, cameras moved, and cues were given, but those procedural motions became secondary to presence. In an environment defined by speed and precision, the decision to simply stay connected with each other highlighted what matters most: care, attention, and mutual grounding. It was a lesson in how stillness can be as powerful as action. Redefining strength in public. For public figures, strength is often equated with resilience, consistency, and appearing unshakable. That morning, Kelly and Mark demonstrated a different kind of strength, one rooted in openness, honesty, and emotional reciprocity. To be seen responding to love, concern, and vulnerability on live television is a courage of its own. Mark's willingness to speak candidly, and Kelly's unguarded response reframed resilience as a partnership rather than a solo endeavor. Support flows both ways, and strength can be quiet. That redefinition carries a subtle yet profound message for audiences. Endurance does not require invulnerability, and love is strengthened, not weakened, by truth. Connection beyond the spotlight. The moment served as a gentle reminder that connection is reciprocal. Just as Kelly and Mark have brought comfort, joy, and laughter into viewers' homes for decades, audiences responded in kind with empathy and care. It became a shared experience of recognition and humanity. The broadcast reminded people that even the familiar carries depth, and that the most enduring relationships thrive not only through fun or ritual, but through attentiveness to each other's emotional landscapes. Connection, in this case, was immediate and felt by everyone who tuned in. The lessons of presence. This instance highlights a simple yet profound truth. Being present matters. In an era dominated by speed, performance, and endless motion, pausing to acknowledge emotion is a radical act. Kelly and Mark demonstrated that strength exists in stillness, that partnership is not measured solely by productivity, and that vulnerability can be a source of intimacy rather than exposure. The audience witnessed what often goes unseen, the small, consistent acts of attention and care that sustain a marriage across decades. Those moments, quiet as they may be, define love and partnership more than any grand gesture or public announcement. Moving forward with intention. Though uncertainty is a natural part of life, the narrative Kelly and Mark presented is one of presence, reflection, and mindful action. The moment was not about fear or fragility, but about awareness and attentiveness. It marked a commitment to approach each day with gratitude, to honor relationships, and to prioritize connection over constant motion. Their story reinforces a timeless lesson. The most meaningful chapters of life are shaped not by control, but by how we respond with care, attentiveness, and love. A marriage that continues to inspire. What began years ago in a professional context has blossomed into a deeply resilient partnership. Kelly and Mark's shared journey now reflects a love tempered by time, tested through quiet challenges, and strengthened by vulnerability. Laughter, presence, and emotional openness have become the pillars of their bond. By allowing viewers to glimpse this, they have created a story that transcends celebrity. It is a human story of partnership, endurance, and the quiet courage it takes to be seen and supported over decades. The enduring power of human connection. At the heart of this morning's broadcast was a reminder that life's most powerful moments are often those that appear unscripted and unplanned. Viewers were offered a glimpse into the reality that sustains all enduring relationships: care, patience, attentiveness, and the willingness to share both joy and vulnerability. Kelly and Mark's moment was not about drama, spectacle, or headlines. It was about connection between partners, with family, and with an audience that has loved them for decades. In sharing such an honest, human experience, they reinforced a lesson for everyone watching. Love is strongest when it is real, attentive, and rooted in presence.